Welcome to Revolutionary Motion, where we show you tennis from a different perspective. Have you always struggled dropping your tossing arm during the serve? Then make sure to watch this video so you can find out how to fix this mistake permanently. Alright, to fix this mistake, first we have to identify what the problem is. What I'm talking about is if you're tossing the ball up, a lot of people keep their tossing arm up here for way too long, start hitting, and don't drop their arm, thus not causing any rotation in their upper body. Now, why do we need upper body rotation? That's where your power comes from. If you're trying to hit a hard serve, you need to make sure that you're not pushing with your arm or your shoulder, but instead rotating your upper body to accelerate your arm by dragging it, causing something called a whipping effect. In order to do that, what has to happen is, obviously you want to get your racket to go high up into the highest contact point and really accelerate through the ball up there. So if you want to get your racket up, consequently your wrist has to be upwards, your elbow has to be high up, your right shoulder has to be high up, and thus your left shoulder has to be low, because those two are connected and it's impossible to get into the highest contact point without having the left shoulder lower than the right. Think of reaching for something on a high shelf. If you're doing that and the shelf is really, really high, you're trying to reach up high with your right shoulder, but consequently your left shoulder will be low. So this already gives you the answer to your problem. In order to drop your left arm or your tossing arm, if you're a right-handed player, sooner, all you have to do is really think about your shoulder. If you're thinking about your left shoulder dropping, that will consequently also drop your left arm. So while you are serving, after the toss is done, you want to make sure that you're pulling your left shoulder down towards your right butt cheek behind you as quickly as you can to accelerate your right arm and your racket upwards as fast as possible. If you're trying to pull the left shoulder down and thus also the right shoulder upwards, your left arm will never stay up here and you will permanently fix the issue that you've always been struggling with, that you can't seem to drop your left arm sooner. Because the left arm is not the mistake here. It is actually a lack of upper body rotation that causes you to use your right arm and your right shoulder too much on your serves, which can cause serious injuries in the long run, like tendinitis, which then keeps you from playing tennis. And aside from that, you're hitting a lot softer than if you actually use your whole upper body to create power in your serves. So let me give you an example here real quick. This is what it would look like if your tossing arm does not drop. Now you can see that I can still serve, and yes, I managed to put the serve inside the court, but I'm not able to actually accelerate into the ball very much. So if I, on the other hand, try to just work on dropping my tossing arm rather than my shoulder, the whole timing will be thrown off, looking like this. Very difficult to time because the arm has a very long motion before it actually causes any type of upper body rotation. If I now try to work with my shoulder instead, you will notice that my left elbow will be the first one to go down rather than my hand or my arm, which makes the whole dropping motion a lot quicker. Would look like this. Like that, I am able to actually hit a lot harder and make sure that my tossing arm drops a lot sooner than it would if I'm just thinking about dropping my arm somehow. Thus creating more power in the process and a much, much more consistent and fast serve. Now this is a slow-mo video of how I do not drop my tossing arm and keep it up way too long, which then causes way less upper body rotation, and in the process also way less power in my serve, and it makes me feel less comfortable. This is another one of those. And then next you will see how I now try to initiate the dropping of the tossing arm by dropping my hand and my whole arm at the same time. Now that throws off my rhythm a lot and makes it really, really challenging to hit the ball with a clean contact and with a consistent shot. And now the third type of video here you can see how I drop my tossing arm by using upper body rotation and actually using my elbow to try to create that upper body rotation much faster than I otherwise could. And that's how you do it the right way. As a reference point, in order to drop your tossing arm much quicker, try to think of being held by somebody and you want to free yourself. In order to do that, you would use your elbow to hit them in their side to let them to make sure that they let go of you. If you're serving, you're trying to pull your elbow back the same exact way as if you're trying to injure somebody that's behind you. That way you can drop your arm much quicker, resulting in your left shoulder blade locking in and thus pulling the shoulders to start the upper body rotation and start the acceleration of your racket.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.